Hello everybody, this is Todd with Duct Tape Hanger again. Just kind of going through some of the stuff that was put together as a static display. I went ahead and pulled this panel off. It uses a 2mm screw there in the center, and it's got pins on this side. As you can see there, wood pins that go in. This covers up the gear. I'm going to add some flat washers to all these, give them a little more strength and stability around there. I will not glue these till the very end. I don't know if you can see that one, but I will not glue these fairings on till the very end. That way I can make sure I'm done with using this hatch, just in case I need to get in here for anything, add weight, whatever. I can do that till the point I'm ready to fly. So let's bust one of these loose. There we go. This is a 3mm. I figure this is probably made right in China or somewhere that's ARF. I'm not sure where Kangke came from. Yeah, see, there is no thread lock or anything on there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add that big washer on there. It does have the lock washer, but I'm going to add a big washer to give it a little more stability. I'm going to use some thread locker, blue 242. It is removable, just in case you ever have to. If you use the red, you're pretty much leaving it till you're never going to get it off of there. It's just, that stuff is just absolutely crazy. Put enough in the threads. We'll stick that back in there. It does go into a blind nut that's embedded in that plywood. We're just going to lock that down like that. Do the same thing over here. Yeah, these weren't even tight. These weren't even tight. This one still has the lock washer. Oh, dropping tools on the ground like normal. And we'll do the same thing here again. I'm going to check the these little fairing bolts. These lock nuts I'm not too worried about. I'm not going to mess with them on the axles. And I'll make sure the wheel collars are tight, which the wheels seem to be nice and tight. I don't got any play in them. They are very tiny wheels for the size of this wheel pant. They look really tiny in there. I am going to be flying off of grass, so I'm hoping those wheel pants last. I really like the style of these wheel pants. I think this is going to be a really pretty plane when I get her done. And hopefully the grass doesn't beat it up too bad. Let's add a washer. And I found these washers in a bunch of my hardware that I bought in an estate somewhere. I bought a bunch of fishing boxes that were just full of different hardware. I think I paid like $10 a tray or less. So, you know, you go to a hardware store and you buy a few 832 bolts or something like that. They're about $1 a piece. You know, it doesn't take long to get to $8 or $10. So if you go to a swap or go to an estate, a flyer's estate, and you find something that you can use, just kind of assess what you think you would pay for part of it. Some of the stuff, you know, you're never going to use. And these are just cheap penny washers. These probably weren't more than, you know, a few cents a piece. But at least it'll give it a little more support around the, and not just be total force around the head of the bolt. One rough landing, you want to have a little bit of support there and help that out. But this is just going to be a quick video. I'm not going to get too fancy with it on this one. So I'm pretty happy with that. That looks good. All right, now we're going to check the wheel pant. And then just grab my set of Allens. I bought this set. This travels with me everywhere I go. When I'll back up here so you can see it. Everywhere I go, it's both standards and metric. I got both of these. I got this whole set at Harbor Freight. And for models, it's perfect. They got ball links on the end. You can see it there. Oh, get it in the camera. You can see they all got little ball links in the end. Now, they're not the strongest, but most of the stuff we're dealing with in these airplanes, they're going to be fine. But yeah, it was a nice cheap set. Ordered it right out of Amazon. Or, I mean, Harbor Freight. I watch their sales, and a lot of times I'll pick up stuff like that pretty reasonable. All right, let's see what size we need for that wheel pant. I figure everything we're going to have on here is going to be metric. I'm going to start with a 2mm. Ooh, it's bigger than that. So hopefully it's just 2.5, because I really don't have a lot of choice. And it is, yes, it is 2.5, and it is loose. So we'll start with this one. That way you can see what I'm doing. Get you in here where you can see it. Oh yeah, that's barely even tight. This is the one that goes into the wheel pant and kind of keeps it in line. It's not a very big screw. See, that's all there is to it. And once again, 0 thread locker on that. So we're going to add a little bit to that. And that will help with that. Get this over here where I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to completely coat those threads and thread that back into there. And that is going into another lock or blind nut that is in there's a little piece of hardwood on the inside there and the fiberglass. And that will help keep that tight. And I don't want to strip it, but we want her nice and snug. This side is the same way. This was really loose. Just the motor vibration alone will be enough to make those loose. And I really like those wheel pants, and I don't know where I'd ever get another set. So if I want to take care of them, I better do all this little maintenance stuff now and save myself the trouble. Same thing. We'll get that started here. Uh-oh. Oh, the wheel pant moved a little bit already. So we're going to go ahead and tighten that one up. I do like that you can use either end of this. You can put some more force on this end instead of trying to twist on the ball link, and you can really tighten them up. You just got to make sure you don't over torque it. Strip that blind nut that's in there, because then you got a whole new bag of problems. All right, that's it on that part. I'll show you the wing and what I did with that real quick, and then we will pretty much cancel, or not cancel, but not continue on this video right now. So you can see here, I went ahead and drilled those out, 16th bit all the way around here. Used regular screw on that, and the same thing here on this side. And once we get the horns drilled in and put in here and here, you got to make sure I'm winding the flaps. So you want to make sure you put the horn on the same side on both of those. Ailerons are going to be on the opposite. That way they both work opposite. That way I'm going to Y everything, make it easy. Like I say, this isn't going to be any kind of crazy aerobatic plane or anything. You don't have to get too crazy with surfaces, and basic servos will be enough for what I'm going to do with it. All right, thanks guys. Have a good night.